Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Bidyut from Department of Information Technology at Haldia Institute of Technology. We will start today the machine learning. So, what is machine learning? We know human can learn from their experience. Now the question is, can a machine also learn from the experience or the past data? The answer is yes. From this figure, you can see that machine can learn in similar way as a human from the past data. That is called the machine learning. Now the definition. Machine learning is a subset of the artificial intelligence, and it is the algorithm which allows a computer to learn from the data and the past experience. Machine learning, the term, is first introduced by Arthur Samuel in 1959. How machine learning works? A machine learning system at first learns from the historical data, then builds the predicted models, and then predicts the output from the new data. The accuracy of predicted output depends on the amount of data. A huge amount of data is required for training to give the accurate results. The lower part, the figure shows that it is the past input data, and then there is a machine learning algorithm. It builds a model, and this model will train from the past data and predict the new data as a output. Now, what is the applications of machine learning? There are several applications like face recognition detection, diagnosis, stock market prediction, product sentiment analysis, weather prediction, medical, bank and finance, robotics, automation, and biometric, and so on. This slide also shows again in the same way the applications of machine learning, that is the different area like automatic language translation, medical diagnosis, stock market trading, online fraud detection, virtual personal assistants or chatbot, email spam and malware filtering, self-driving car product recommendation system, traffic prediction, speech recognition, image recognition, and so forth. So there is the classification of machine learning. We are generally classified the machine learning in three different algorithms or three different categories. One is the supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. What is the supervised learning? Supervised learning is a type of machine learning method in which we provide sample level data to the machine learning system in order to train, and on the basis it predicts the output. Basically, in supervised learning, the machine trained by the labeled data. Labeled data means the data that contains the features as well as the predicted output that is present in the training data. And based on this training data, the model is trained first and then predict the new data that is unknown. So supervised machine learning is also categorized into two types. One is classification, another is the regression. And some examples of the supervised machine learning is spam filtering, handwritten character recognition, stock prediction, etc. So this is the figure of supervised machine learning. Now, this is the input data. So we are assumes that there is just so many different types of apples image are as a input data to the machine, and this image is annotated or labeled as a apple. So this data is used for training the model. Now we are giving a new image. So this image is apple or not apple, that will be determined by the model or by the machine. That is actually the supervised learning. So it is a level data. That is the, at first when we are training, we are using a level data, and then we are predicting an unknown data or unknown image, that is apple or not. Now the classification. So the supervised machine learning is two types. One is the classification, another is the regression. So classification algorithm is a supervised machine learning algorithm, and it is, the example is yes and no, 0, 1, spam, not spam, the cat and dog. That is basically classification between several categories or several labels, or you can say several classes. Okay, the labeled input data or training data, which means training data contains input with the corresponding output. Now, next is the type of machine learning classification algorithms. There are basically two types. One is binary classification, another is the multi-class classification. Binary classification means there are two categories. One is the yes and no, male, female, spam, not spam. So there is only two categories are there. So we are saying that it is a binary classifier. If there is more than two classes, then it is called the multi-class classification or multi-class classifier. If a classification problem has more than two outcomes, then it is called a multi-class classifier. So classification of types of crops, classification of types of musics are the multi-class classification. And these are the examples of binary classification. Now, takes types of machine learning classification algorithm. Classification algorithm can be further divided into two categories. One is linear models, that is logistic regression, support vector machine, and non-linear model, that is the k nearest neighbor, naive Bayes, decision tree classification, random forest classification. We will discuss in detail each topic in later. So the classification model, some examples again, that is the k nearest neighbor, decision tree, naive Bayes, support vector machines, that is included in your syllabus. So what is the regression? Regression is another type of the supervised learning technique for investigating the relationship between the independent variable or features. What it means the independent variable and dependent variable? Independent variable are called the features that are the input or used as a used for this training purpose, and input variables are the features, and dependent variables are the outcome. Independent variables are, you can say it is the cat or not cat, that is called the dependent variable, or that is the output variable. Now it is used as a method for predicting models in a machine learning. Here an algorithm is used to predict continuous outcome. In the regression, we are predicting the continuous outcome. But in classification, we are categorize the input in as a one of the output category. Using regression, you feed a function on the available data and try to predict the outcome for the future data point. So regression basically gives a value like the age of a person, or the what is the price of the stock of a stock, or the price of a stock. So that is the regression. And classification, we are categorize the input data into any one of the category, desired category. That means it is cat or dog, it is animal, or it is human, like that. Now the example of regression is the predicting age of a person. So it is a value. Predicting stock price of a company, it is also a value. Predicting the price of a house, predicting the weather, etc. These are the examples of the regression. Now the unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is a machine learning method in which the machine learns without any past level data. So there is no data as an input to train the model. So there is no label data is there. So unsupervised learning are also categorized into two types. One is clustering and another is the association rule. Some examples of unsupervised learning are market segmentation, text clustering, etc. So how to train the model using the unsupervised learning? Using the unsupervised learning, we are build the relationships among the features and group the data points into several categories. So these are the example of this. That is the input data. We do not know it is an apple or it is banana or any other fruits are there. So we are just collecting this data. There is no annotation is there or there is no label data is there. So we are put the relationships between the data points. So these data are similar. So we are group this data into a separate category, and these two data are in a similar way. That's why we are categorize these two into the another category. But we do not say that it is a apple and it is a banana. We just categorize into the two groups. That is called the unsupervised learning. So that is the clustering. Clustering is an unsupervised machine learning technique. And clustering is a method of grouping the objects into the cluster such that the objects with most similar remaining into the same group. So there is several clustering techniques are there: K-means clustering, DB scan, hierarchical clustering, etc. So association rule mining. It is also a unsupervised machine learning technique. Used a rule-based approach, discovering the relationships between the features in a data set. So that is the definition of the association rule. So we are finding the similar data items and group them. That is our main objectives in the association rule. So where it is used? Actually used for the market basket analysis, understanding the customer purchasing pattern. The most widely used algorithm of the association rule is a priori algorithm. That is the most popularly used algorithm. Another algorithm, that is the Ecklet and FP growth algorithm, are also be used for a association rule mining. Now, the last topic is the reinforcement learning. We are categorized the neural machine learning algorithms are in three different categories. First one is the supervised, second one is the unsupervised, and last one is the reinforcement learning. In the reinforcement learning is a feedback-based learning method. Here, there is no need of the previous data, in which a learning agent gets a reward for each right action and gets a penalty for each wrong answer. By using this, you can learn the model gradually by using the agent and improve its performance. The agent learns automatically with this feedback and improve its performance. The robotic dog, movement of his arms, that is the automatically learn from the environment, is an example of the reinforcement learning. So in the overall diagram of the reinforcement learning are there. That is the reinforcement learning. It is an input raw data, and then from this data, the system will learn automatically by using the agent. Agent will gives a reward for the right action and a penalty for the wrong answer, and this process is continue until it will gives a better result or better output. So that is the technique of the reinforcement learning. Now, the machine learning life cycle. So how a machine learning model is built and deployed. So at first we are gathering the data. At first we are collecting the data. Then it is the data pre-processing or data preparation. At first we are collecting the data. The pre-processing means there is some missing data or there is some unwanted data present in your data set that it should be removed first. and then we are data wrangling. We are refining the data again and then analysis the data and then train the model and then test model and then the deployment the model. In the training model, we are using this data, and test model, that is the new data will become and it will be tested by the built model, and finally if it will give better results, then we deploy the machine learning model. Next, the machine learning different tools are available. Generally, we are implementing the programs of the machine learning using the Python. There is a Python is open source. Python is an interpreted language, and then the scikit-learn is a machine learning library for Python, and TensorFlow is also a open source machine learning framework for everyone. You can learn the machine learning from the TensorFlow and as well as the scikit-learn. Thank you for your attention. We will discuss in detail later. Thank you.